Hi, I'm Gabriel and welcome to the new devlog for this week. And today I want to show you some of the concept art I'm doing for the new character. Last week I've been working on the technical animation aspect for my game, and I sorted that aspect out and I decided how to proceed with the technical animation. Now I'm doing some concept art to create the first character. And this is done in Procreate, and it's the concept art for the new character I'm going to do with the new tech that I built up. And speed up like this, it kinda look like I know what I'm doing, but it's just very simple sketches I'm doing, because I'm better at doing 3D stuff than 2D stuff, and so the 3D stuff is going to come out a little bit better than a little bit more precise mostly than what you can see here. But here you can see that these were all the version that I decided to do, and I like the second one here that I'm painting now, and I decided to go for it, and I like the shape and the size. It's kinda hard because the first unit I'm doing is one of the hardest actually, unfortunately, because the clothing that he has are very restricting on the shape of the character itself. Overall here I'm redoing the shape of the character correctly, and then I'm creating again all the clothes and all the design for the final character. It's orthographic. This is the orthographic design, means is the shape you have to start to create the rest pose for the character in the game, and the hands are not in the right position. I wanted to create the detail on the hand, and basically what I did, the first version on top was too tall, so I took inspiration from the version that's a little bit smaller to then redo the shape of the card, and I'm kinda happy with the shape now, but I think I'm still going to change how I look and how, especially the shape, I think I'm going to change. But I'm actually happy with the design. This was one of the original designs I have for one of the characters in the game. So last week I also show you this animation I was doing to exercise, kinda, to have fun with animation. This is all Rigify. This is the reel for mannequin, and animated with Rigify, and it's an animation about volleyball. Very simple. I'm happy with the result here too, and this is basically to test out the tech I'm going to use for the game. And here I have a couple of rendering I did about this animation. This I just tried to go crazy a little bit with the position of the camera, and this is the final rendering instead. It's a little bit too fast maybe, because it's a gameplay animation, it's 30 frames per second, and it's a little bit fast. So unfortunately this is all I can have to show this week, but last week I talked a lot about Raid 2, and I want to close that chapter I did. And I finished the game, and as soon as I finished last week's video, I keep playing the game, and I actually start having a lot more fun with the game. And it's kind of unfortunate the timing were not good for this one, because I think I have a better picture of the game, and I like the game more than what I did in the past, in the last week. Is that I didn't got the game correctly, and I think one of the things I like the most about the game is the fact that there are some arcs that allows you to unlock the power of the game and to unlock the weapon of the game, and that mechanic is really nice, and it incentivizes the player to go around the world and find all the items and all the objects in the game, and that aspect is fun. But I want to show you this video because unfortunately this vehicle that you can see now kinda ruined the game, unfortunately, because it takes out all the movement from the game, and it speed up the game tremendously, and it also cut out some of the content. As you can see there with the car, you're being stuck in the fight, and instead here you can just fly above the level, and I think they knew that unfortunately, it was not that fun. Most of the content in this game is not that fun. The shooting is okay. I think only when I got all the weapon I start to have the shooting experience as it was designed to be, but you don't have all the weapon for most of the game, and I actually went to... You can find the weapon directly as I did, and if you do that you can find the weapon and you immediately got the weapon, but if you don't have the weapon for most of the game, and that's what happened to me. You have to look for the weapon to get the weapon, and if you're proceeding the game with just the content you're finding, it means you are not finding the weapon immediately. And the game is just a big mess. I think it lacked direction overall, because this area, for instance, I never explored this area, and it's just a waste. It's unfortunate, and I think a little bit more work would not have helped this game, because this is how I was supposed to play, and this is a fun bug that happened to me. And let's see if I can show you. I'm kinda evil to mess up with the game that much, but this is kinda fun because I think if the character lands on the ground, it gets up, but I was on a vehicle and the vehicle is not recognized by the game as ground, and this is why I got the pleasure to live through this thing. But I think after a little bit it got unstuck. I hope so. This is crazy. So fun. But anyway, the game was not bad at the end. It got better as I was playing, but you need to understand how to play it, and it's something the game doesn't care about explaining to you. Unfortunately, I found the game actually too easy. When you got all the weapon, the game kinda became easy, and it's kinda shame. But overall it's a good game. I will not suggest it, but it's not bad. It gets better with time, it really did. And it got me to think a lot, because I think I'm going to do a video about the concept of modern open world games, because this game really is an example of an old style open world game that after Zelda Breath of the Wild came out, you are not allowed to do old style open world games anymore. I think the whole big difference is the fact that in this game you get a lot of currency. Even here you can see when you defeat an enemy and you find some of these giants through the game. Yeah, I like to do this stupid thing. I didn't actually shoot the guy at the end. But you see, you get the currency at the end. You get a lot of currency like this through the game, and it's a shame because you also have more than 100 upgrades through the game to unlock. And modern open world games want you to not get the currency, but by defeating this boss I should have got directly a new power, which is a little thing like a buff to this gun, maybe a buff to another gun I was using to defeat it, or maybe something that is defined like the ability to a power up of the game, something like defined thing that interests the player in exploring the game as much as they can. Because if the reward for defeating a boss is just a currency that I actually don't care about the currency, but if the reward is actually a new skill, modern open world games allows you to be interested and creates the opportunity to have more fun with the future, knowing that the player will get new rewards as he's playing will actually interest the player more to explore the game as much as possible. Now, by the way, you can see that I'm playing on hard mode and it's not actually that hard. I mean, even doing the difficult thing of using this useless weapon, because that weapon is unfortunately useless. And the game is not very hard when you unlock all the stuff. Before unlocking the stuff is actually kind of unbalanced, because you have only 2 weapons, sometimes even only the basic gun you have, and it's kind of hard to play with only this gun here. So anyway, it got better by playing, but I will not suggest the game. It needed a better direction, this game, and it's just silly that they do a game like this at this point. Anyway, I think it's everything for this week. I hope next week I will have more stuff to show about the game, but I like to show stuff even about other game and talk about game design in general. And if you like what you're seeing now, you're probably going to like Raichu anyway. So I think it's everything for this week, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.